What I am interested in is all the traffic that is being captured by the booster on the internet side of my connection. So I could say I want to create a rule. I'm going to bring that traffic in on 1.2. I'm going to send it out 1.1. Well, and we could say internet only. Now, if I come over to my filters, if I left this open, I'd get everything. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a VLAN ID group. Now, what I've done is I have set up VLAN tagging on my booster so that the frames coming in on the internet connection on port 1 and port 2 are being tagged with VLAN 500 and VLAN 501. So I can say internet. Say 500 through 501. Say cool. I'll add another one. This is the link coming out here to the video studio. So I'll say studio. Studio is 502 through 503. We'll add that. We'll add one more. And that's the switch that's sitting on my desk that's connected to some wireless APs. I'll say desk. I'll say 504 through 505. I'll add those. Now I can say close. So if I come in, I now have these various groups that I can select from. I can say, you know what? I'm interested in my internet traffic. So now I could come in and confirm that. I could say, confirm. We now have that rule. So we now have internet only. And you know what? Let's do this. Let's go in and edit that real quick. Especially when I'm troubleshooting rules and starting to set them up, it's really nice to turn on the frame match, just so that we can start getting an idea of how many frames are matching this. So now if I come back over here to my IOTA and I hit refresh, we're going to start seeing more traffic coming through, I hope, in just a second. Now, this is a live demo, and we never know with live demos whether everything's going to work exactly like we want. And because it takes just a second for that to kick in there, let me just go back. So we're sending it out. Yeah, we've seen 14,000 frames. Oh, boom, there we go. We got the data. So whew, that's always a relief. So now we've got all of our traffic coming through here. So here's the thing, and I'm going to answer, there's been questions where you come into some of the questions. So it says, so are we taking off the existing VLAN? No, we're doing 802.1q AD, which is Q in Q. So watch this. Let's just grab some traffic here. So we're going to grab this one. We're going to just click on this device right here. And that creates a trace file. That easy. So I'm going to bring that trace file up. So let's bring that, here's that traffic for that host right there. So, well, okay, this is not the best example. I'll show you, we'll do another quick real example and I'll show you. And that's why I like doing these live demos. But here, I've added in VLAN 501. Okay, so I've added that in there. This really doesn't show what I was just talking about, so we'll close that. We'll come over here. Let's get rid of this window. Let's go to our packet broker. We're going to say, you know what, internet only. We're going to dump that rule right there. We're going to add in, create another rule. I'm going to say input here, output here. I'm going to say filters. We're going to say VLAN group. And what we're going to do is filter on the studio VLAN, because this has VLAN tags in the traffic. So I'm going to show you how we add those additional tags in there. So I'll say confirm. Turn the counter on there. I'll confirm that. So now, there we go. We got some frames coming across. So in this case, what we're doing is we just jumped into a VLAN link. So if we go back to our IOTA, we're going to give this, let me give it just a minute here to come in there. Well, that's happening. Let me come over here and take a look at some of these questions. We're going to let that. Okay, so one of the questions is, what's the latency of the booster? It's about 400 nanoseconds at 1 gig. Consistent latency, low jitter. Okay. So as I mentioned, with, can we eliminate, so sometimes, and I always love to see when people put in questions that tie right in with something I brought up, and that is, if we have low amounts of traffic, or if we have traffic we want to get rid of, can we set up exception rules? Latency on the visualization, it is about 30 seconds in here. In fact, we can even come in and pick a smaller time frame. Okay. Let's grab this. Oh. There we go. I must have had a filter applied. Okay. So now we're now looking at the traffic just on that link for the studio here. So I'm going to grab a small amount of that traffic. And let's go ahead and take a look at that. All right. Here's what I wanted to show you right here. Because I am a big, let's show what it looks like. So right here we have our 802.1 AD. So 802.1 AD, we assigned a VLAN to that is collecting or is adding that. And so port 502, that is port number 3 on the booster that's connected to port 1.2. We still maintain VLAN ID 1. So there's our 802.1Q VLAN ID. So we still have that original VLAN ID in there. So we didn't lose that visibility to that VLAN ID, but we are now able to tell exactly what port that was received on, and we can create a filter specifically for that port.